Miss Bergstrom is working away on her smartphone, firing off one email after another. She must be pretty serious about her job. Who are you emailing?
Why do you want to know?
I'm just curious and kind of surprised that you're still working at a time like this.
The world doesn't stop spinning just because one person died.
Yikes, that's a cold outlook, even if it is accurate.
If you must know, I'm emailing some partners in Germany, finishing a draft of a new policy for some of my coworkers, and rearranging my schedule to make up for a meeting I'm missing right now.
You sound busy.
I am. So, if you could leave me alone, I'd really appreciate it.
Right. Sorry. Well, she's definitely writing a lot. She's clearly isn't paying any attention to anything that's going on here. I suppose Miss Business isn't the one spying on me. Better keep looking. So, why were you following Sarah around?
What? I wasn't following her. We just happened to come in here at the same time.
Strange. When I mentioned her name earlier, you didn't even know who she was. Being friendly or hostile? If you tell me what happened, maybe I can help you.
I'm really not allowed to talk about it.
Why can't you talk about Sarah? Kisaki glances around the room before he speaks.
It's not safe. I'm probably already in trouble just for telling you that much.
He leans in and lowers his voice.
Please, be careful.
If you think I'm going to let it end with just that, you're wrong. In case you haven't noticed, someone is dead. And you might have information that can help us figure out who the killer is. I'm not going to accept a ridiculous answer like I can't talk about it right now.
But I...
Kisaki's gonna get killed by the psychic guy, most likely. No excuses. I grab Kisaki's collar of his shirt and drag him into the side hallway.
Whoa, where are you two going?
The bathroom. I glare at Kisaki and he nods quickly in agreement.
Yeah, just going to the bathroom.
You're going in a pair? I thought only women did that sort of thing.
Just let us go, even though the fire exit is right there.
Fine, go ahead. Just don't do anything stupid. I don't have enough handcuffs for everyone.
Warning duly noted. I open the door to the bathroom and Kisaki follows me timidly.
I'm not allowed.
Not allowed? Someone is dead, Kisaki. Do you not comprehend this? I don't care if you have some embarrassing secret, or you made a promise, or it's a matter of pride, or anything stupid like that. All I care is about figuring out who killed this woman. So man up and just tell me what you know. Are you going to talk or not? Kisaki stares down at his hand before letting out a long sigh.
In engineering.
So he's the spy killer. What about him?
They're my current employer.
Current?
I work for an agency that specializes in information and investigation. I suppose you could call us private investigators. Sarah Blackmore recently stole some sensitive and important data from Auden Engineering. We were hired to retrieve it and find out who was buying it from her in the first place. We figured the drop point would be here, so I came here ahead of time to watch the handoff.
The deal went wrong.
Supposed to be her contact, so I didn't want to tell you anything.
Does Detective Gursky know about this?
I think he has a rough idea. Our agency has had dealings with the police before. I don't think he approves of our methods very much, though.
Methods?
Well, we may or may not use techniques branded as unscrupulous. Specifically, concerning the manner in which we receive certain information from various electronic sources.
So hacking and other means. So you're hackers.
What? No, of course not. Well, I'm not at least. I'm the footwork guy. I do a lot of the physical investigation, like coming here today.
I suppose your agency is really in a state of panic right now, huh?
Yeah, we're really scrambling right now. Even though Sarah's dead, we still don't know who she was selling to or where the USB drive holding the information is.
Seems like everyone's after the USB drive. I wonder what she even stole anyways. It must be a pretty big deal for people to want it this badly.
Can I go now?
What?
I really should get back. People might start getting suspicious otherwise.
Sure, you can go.
Thanks.
Wow, what an odd kid. He seems much too polite and awkward for this line of work. Then again, I suppose his awkwardness makes him less suspicious. I wonder how he even got roped into stuff like this in the first place. It doesn't even seem like something he randomly volunteered for. Have we talked to Chance yet?
Hey, can we talk about something for a bit?
Speaking of Chance, sure, what's up?
Well, I don't really know if it's my place to say it, but I think I know who the killer is.
You do?
I've been thinking about what happened, you see, and there's something we missed. We keep thinking that it has to be someone here, but what if it's none of us?
What do you mean?
Well, even though I got here at 2 o'clock, what if the killer got here before me? He could have been hiding in the bathroom and I'd never know it. There's an exit door in the men's room. He could have used that to escape after he killed that woman.
True. That's a good idea. You're probably right, considering the evidence in the trash. But that evidence in the trash seems like it's begging to be found.
I'm glad you think so. I was worried that it might not make any sense.
It does, Bertha. It does. I think Sarah's a corporate spy.
Really? What makes you think that?
I did some research on her. I borrowed Kisaki's computer and looked her up online.
And?
She used to work for Autumn Engineering, a company that specializes in growing organs from cells. And BioDev Imaging is currently trying to expand and do the same thing. She just resigned from Autumn Engineering and is now working for BioDev Imaging? You yourself said she was just a secretary, so she's clearly not working for the companies because she has a specific skill set needed for this line of work. She's probably after something that BioDev Imaging has.
That's one possibility.
One possibility?
The key here is to figure out who she's working. For instance, she could have been working for BioDev Imaging by stealing information from Audit Engineering.
Or the other way around.
If it's like that, then this could be a move by Audit Engineering to retrieve information before it winds up with BioDev Imaging. Or, conversely, she could have been working for Audit Engineering and stealing information from BioDev Imaging. In that case, anyone from BioDev Imaging now becomes a primary suspect.
So Kisaki or Bernstrom.
Of course, that doesn't rule out other motives, but this seems like the most logical one. Corporations like this are cutthroat at best. It's always a race to see who can get results the fastest so they can get a larger market share or government grants. Rather than work together, they do whatever it takes to get ahead of the competition.
Whatever it
And
takes.
when they can't be vindicated through lawsuits and manipulation of the laws, they'll resort to darker practices. Looks like it's time to learn more about Audit Engineering.
Kisaki's still working on his computer? Does that guy ever take a break from his own work? He keeps pausing. It looks more like he's chatting on Instant Messenger. Interesting. Who are you chatting with online?
My sister?
Does she work at Autumn? Your sister.
Yeah, she and I are really close, so I always go to her for advice. I just needed someone to talk to. It's not weird, is it?
Of course not. It makes sense that you want to talk to family when something like this happens.
Do you have a sister too?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. So are you an only child then?
My sister died 3 years ago.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It's not like it was your fault or anything.
It's not too personal a question. Can I ask what happened?
She was shot once in the chest. She died of a collapse long before the paramedics arrived.
Did they ever catch the guy who shot her?
No.
I'm sorry.
Just forget I said anything, okay? What do you know about Autumn Engineering, aside from being one of their handymen?
They're the leaders in the industry, but some people claim they steal ideas from other companies. On the flip side, Auden Engineering has claimed repeatedly that other companies steal from them. In fact, they were just about to make a pretty big announcement, but it was suddenly pushed back for some reason. Personally, I think they're just a target of criticism because they're the biggest. They may not be perfect, but they're no worse than any other company.
What do you know about Autumn Engineering?
Those 2-bit scientists? They couldn't deduce their way out of a paper bag. Everyone in the industry knows that all they do is manipulate the government to make laws and hand out grants in their favor. If they spent half the time they spend on bribing politicians on doing something useful like research, They probably have the cure for cancer by now.
I see you're not a fan.
Companies like BioDev Imaging are trying to do some real good. But we have to keep playing games with Otten Engineering just to get a place on the map. It's utterly ridiculous.
I see a motive forming. I heard some mixed reviews about Autumn Engineering. Miss Bergstrom claims that they're nothing more than manipulative liars. Well, they manipulate laws and bribe politicians. She's clearly not impressed by their business practice, being the rival company and all.
No surprise there, she has a major stake in a rival company after all.
That's right, detective.
What about the others?
The other one that got employed. Kisaki says that Autumn Engineering has come under fire for stealing from other companies, but they claim that they're the ones being stolen from. He said, she said.
Naturally. And what does Chance think about all of this?
She thinks they're a car company.
Oh,
Yeah. What are you doing here? As I enter the bathroom, I nearly run into Miss Bergstrom. Let me guess, she wanted to use the restroom, but the ladies' restroom is being occupied. Well, with the dead body and all. I'm sorry.
No. It's fine.
Miss Bergstrom shifts uncomfortably and fiddles with her watch for a moment. Aha. Did she always had that watch? What are you doing in here anyways?
Well, I had to use the restroom, and the women's one is off limits, naturally. Don't worry, I'm done.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
I suppose it depends on the question.
I was just wondering, why did you decide to work for BioDev Imaging? It seems like it's really important to you. Are you the daughter of the company owner?
When I was younger, my father passed away due to heart failure. It was genetic, and there was nothing we could do to stop it. I wished there was a way to save him, but there wasn't any viable technology at the time. I work for BioDev Imaging because we're doing things for people. We're saving lives.
At any cost?
If no one else has to go through what I went through, I'll be happy. Hopefully that's a suitable answer for you.
Yeah, I was just curious. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Is it missing? No, it's still there. Hold up. Is there something red inside?
Hey, Detective.
Oh hey, the disembodied voice is back. It's been a while. I was starting to get worried.
I don't have much more I can offer you. You're on the inside, so you have all the keys. I know you've seen more than the rest of us can see. Try to remember. The last piece of the puzzle is there.
Yes. Bergstrom has the watch.
Good luck.
I need access to the kitchen. Good luck, that's it? I'm not sure whether or not I should be offended that my mystery friend seems to have ditched me. But the truth is that even if I only have a fragment of Sarah's death, it's a lot more than anything else we got right now. So this is how you save. I've been looking for that for hours. I shut my eyes and focus on the last thoughts that Sarah had. I can't breathe. I can't open my mouth. There's something on my face that's stopping me from breathing. Is it a gag? No, my mouth is shut. It's tape. I can smell it. The flower scent of the bathroom is strong, but it smells like duct tape. I twist my hand, but they're also taped together. There's someone here. Something's holding me down while I'm struggling. I can feel fingernails digging deep into my skin. One of them bends as it digs into me. I twist around. I can feel it snap against my skin. That's it. That's the missing piece. Fingernail. I rush back to the bathroom quickly to look into the trash can, and sure enough, stuck into the pile of duct tape is the fingernail. Yep, the red thing I saw. The thing I thought was red paint was actually a broken fingernail. The smudge next to it must be blood. I have proof. I know who the killer is. I need to speak with Detective Gursky. And he's missing. I head back into the hallway, but he's nowhere to be found. I can hear his voice. I find Detective Gursky in the main area, taking down everyone's contact information. Detective!
Whoa, hey, I'm just getting everyone's number so we can call you later on.
No need for that. I figured it out. Really? Really? All eyes on the room are focused on me. Let's see. 100 save slots? Oh.
What?
Yep, red fingernails.
You mean you know who the killer is?
Pink fingernails, but not really. He's covering his hand this whole time.
You figured it out?
Well, I figured out the major bits at least.
Well, you're going to need to fill in the gaps before you try to sell this as the absolute truth, but I'm willing to listen.
Let's go over what we know, starting with the timeline. You arrived around noon, so you were here before everyone else.
Right.
Of the rest of the people here, who arrived at the coffee shop first?
The one who arrived first. Chance. Her shift starts at 2.
Sure did.
Alright, who came in after her?
After her. Kisaki was staring at her. He arrived early. He even saw Chance cleaning the espresso machine after he argued with the manager.
That's right.
After
The
they
manager
argued.
sounded pretty angry with her. He said she messes up like this too often.
Oops.
Alright, and after Kizaki, who came in?
The victim Sarah, but then if McBurstrom was the last one. Chance and Kisaki both saw her come in.
And after that, but sometime before 2:40, Sarah was murdered. Then Miss Bergstrom came in and found you with the body.
Yeah, and then there was all the yelling and accusing and all the other stuff.
So how was the victim killed?
She was suffocated
With what?
with tape. The culprit used it to bind her and sealed her mouth and nose. After she died, the killer removed all the duct tape and threw it away in the men's bathroom.
That makes sense. But what about the knife?
They left the knife in. It was meant to incriminate Chance. Or somebody else put it there. The culprit overheard her argument with her manager, so he or she knew that the kitchen would be empty. After Sarah died, the culprit removed all the duct tape and snuck into the kitchen, stole the knife, then stabbed Sarah with it.
So who do you think the true culprit is?
Everything points at Bergstrom, though.
Are you sure about that?
What? That makes no sense. Why would I do something like that?
Sarah stole from Autumn Engineering for you, but something went wrong with the deal.
You think I'd do something as dirty as hiring a corporate spy?
It's cutthroat business. I glance over at Kisaki, but he doesn't make eye contact. Well, let's just put it this way. I have a testimony that Sarah did in fact steal information from Autumn Engineering. And considering the situation, I believe that you came here to deliver that information. The USB that she held the information on is nowhere to be found, which leads me to believe that whoever she was supposed to meet with did meet up with her. Biodev imaging is still a new phase in the live cell marketplace. I'm sure a little kickstart from the competition research wouldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt. You're the only person here with ties with Biodev. Do you wish to deny asking Sarah to steal information for you?
In case you forgot, I was the last person in. Sarah was already dead by the time I got here.
Yeah, but that wasn't the first time you were here today. You came here before Chance arrived. You came here often enough that you know her shift starts, when her shift starts, so you came before she did, so that she couldn't see you. You hid in the bathroom to wait for Sarah. When you heard Chance and her manager arguing, you suddenly got the idea to frame Chance. You knew the manager and Chance would both be out of the kitchen. It was your golden opportunity to plant evidence that only Chance would have had access to. You killed Sarah, as planned, then removed all the duct tape and planted the knife, and escaped through the doors in the man's bathroom.
That sounds like a solid theory, but then why did she bother to come back? Isn't it more incriminating for her to return?
That's what's been bothering me for a long time, but I thought about it and finally understand why you came back. Your false nails. You wanted to get rid of the evidence.
What?
I found one in the bathroom already, stuck to the huge pile of duct tape that you used to kill Sarah. She fought hard when you restrained her, and your nail broke off in the struggle. Unfortunately, you didn't notice until after you had escaped. You replaced it with a new one, but then you noticed that you were bleeding. The police will now have your DNA as proof that you were the murderer. With Sarah's line of work and her recent job, they were bound to consider you as a suspect at one point in time. You knew you had to get rid of it immediately. You couldn't return through the emergency exit, so you had to take the chance and come through the front. Unfortunately, when you came back, I had already discovered the body, so you tried to frame me instead. Jennifer stands in shock for a few seconds. Now it's Jennifer? With a sudden burst of energy, she pushes me aside and races for the door. Kisaki races after her and grabs her by the wrist.
Let go of me!
Jennifer Bergstrom. A slap. She spins around and slaps him in the face. He winces and stumbles back a few steps. Are you alright?
I'm fine.
Miss Bergstrom is heading towards the door in the front, but Detective Gursky steps in her path.
That's enough.
She skids to a halt and desperately searches the room for another exit. But I'm already blocking her path to the hallway. She sighs and shakes her head resignedly.
Such a fool. Running is the biggest proof of guilt, no? I suppose I should have seen this coming. Fine. I confess. It's just as you said.
She pulls up her sleeves and unstraps the watch around her wrist.
This is the USB drive. Everything on it belongs to Auten Engineering.
Detective Gursky takes it from her with a nod. Why did you even do this in the first place?
That greedy woman came to me today saying that someone else had offered her even more money for the information that I hired her to steal. She said that I'd have to pay a much higher price if I was still interested, and that I should meet her here to make the exchange. People like her are the reason the world is hurting so much. Because of her greed, dying people are being denied the care they need. She got what she deserved.
How can you say that?
What?
You have no right to decide who deserves to live and who dies. You spoke fondly about saving lives and doing good in this world, but you were just quick to shed the blood of another. You say that it's for the greater good, but it's really just for you, yourself, wasn't it?
I just thought that...
Her voice trails off. I open my eyes slowly, struggling to maintain composure. I know you thought you were doing the right thing, but there's nothing in this world that will make the weight of killing someone go away. You're going to spend the rest of your life with that burden, desperately trying to find a way to make the guilt disappear. I'm sorry. Outside the window, a police car with flashing lights pulls up. Detective Gursky pulls out a pair of handcuffs and snaps them gently on Miss Bergstrom's wrist before leading her outside. I sink down into the chair and lean back. I feel so drained. I wish I could just go to sleep and not wake up for at least a year. Kisaki?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, actually, my name is Naoki.
I knew it! Naoki, you look different.
That's sort of the point. Of a disguise, I mean.
Guys, he may have changed his appearance, but he doesn't seem to have changed his personality at all. It looks like the whole Shy Guy thing wasn't an act. In fact, he seems even shyer now. Was there something you wanted?
Yes, actually. We need to talk.
You're the psychic guy, aren't you, Naoki? About what?
We have a little bit of a problem with this case.
A problem? What do you mean? It's more complicated, isn't it?
Well, the job I was originally given was to retrieve the USB drive and to find who wanted the information from Alton Engineering in the first place.
The police have the USB drive now, so it's as good as safe. And Miss Bergstrom already confessed to hiring Sarah. What's the problem?
Miss Bergstrom said that Sarah claimed someone else was interested. If this third party really is after the info, we need to know.
A third party is involved? I suppose that would explain why Sarah had the ID for biodev imaging. She was likely hired to steal research from them as well. Still, all this corporate backstabbing doesn't really have anything to do with me, and I really would like to get away from this place as soon as possible. Well, that's all interesting, but I don't see what you're bothering me with to tell me any of this.
We think your ability might be useful in figuring out the third party.
I quickly glance around the coffee shop. Everyone else is gone already, but I lower my voice anyways. How do you know about that? Because I'm the psychic guy.
You're not the only one with extra abilities, you know.
So you...
I have a perfect memory. I remember everything around me. Sights, sounds, smells, everything. Once I experience it, I remember it forever.
eidetic memory? So earlier, when I asked you about this place to see if you were really a regular customer here,
I lied. I've never been to this coffee shop before in my life.
I knew it.
I can recite the entire menu for you if you want, though.
That won't be necessary. I suppose I should have been suspicious when you answered so specifically. A normal customer would have said something like $1 or $2 rather than give the exact price.
It's really useful for missions where I have to follow and observe.
I suppose I have you to thanks for the voice in my head for giving me the information about Sarah as well.
Actually, that was my boss.
I knew it! Your boss. So you're the one who was leaking information about me. All that time chatting online, you were just telling your boss what I was up to. So is the boss the sister?
Guilty as charged. But it really would be a good thing if you could work with us. Would that be okay with you?
I don't know. I really rather have as little to do with this as possible. And honestly, I don't know why your boss thinks you need my help anyways.
Got it all wrong, detective.
Aki!
Oh. Twin sister? And who's that? At the entrance of the cafe, a figure stunningly similar to Naoki. Well, except for a couple of obvious differences. A young girl trails at her side, peering cautiously into the cafe at me. Aki? Am I to assume that you're the boss that Naoki was speaking of?
Guilty as charged.
She smirks as she looks over at me, sizing me up.
It would really mean a lot if you agreed to work with us. But just so you're clear, we don't need your help. You need ours.
Okay. So I was recruited. And this was the first case. Oh. Let's see the epilogue. It's nothing, I'm worn out. I'm not even thinking straight.
Would you like another latte? I can brew one for you.
Yes, please.
Coming right up.
Chance hurries up, and soon I hear whirring of coffee machine. She returns shortly with a tall cup in her hand.
Here you go. I hope you like it.
Thank you. As I drink deeply, I can feel my muscles relaxing. I sit down in a nearby chair and lean back to enjoy my drink, but for some reason, I feel a little unbalanced. I try to sit up, but my muscles don't respond. What? Chance stares at me impassively as I struggle to sit up straight. It's becoming harder to breathe.
Pity. I was hoping you'd figure out who the murderer was so that the police wouldn't dig around too much and find out about that. But it looks like you're the one who learned too much in the end.
I feel so lightheaded.
Good night, Tiger.
Spertha.
I'm afraid I couldn't get the USB that you wanted.
No!
There was a little bit of complication with the handoff. Some woman from Biodev killed Sarah before I could get to her, and the police confiscated the USB as evidence. Yeah, I know. I do have something that might cheer you up, though. I think I ran into someone you've been looking for.
How could you? Let's see. So where the actual detective? The word Jisei means final moments. But I hope that for us, This is only the beginning. It is a series after all. I believe there's 3 games so far in the series. Ah, but there's no other cases. Quite a captivating story indeed. Keep up the great work, you guys.